I don't use like half of their plugins. Sometimes I do. Most times I don't. Um, this is why I don't have software like that for real. Because every time, man, there's something has to be updated. Some OS updates. Now you gotta check compatibility, and that's a lot. It's a whole thing. Let me see if there's a where's that contact one? Why don't I mm, yeah, just update them all. Has anyone heard of or have placements through Muso Soup? Muso Soup. It reminds me of miso soup that we get from this Asian restaurant. I have not. Shout out to anybody in the chat who has. It's a leading platform for independent music promotion. First time hearing about it. I've seen a few companies like this though. It's like playlisting. Um, PR. It seems like something like a service more so geared towards independent artists or something like that. Janie B says, "What's the best genre to produce that will be in demand on the upcoming months so we can start working on?" Um, let me pull up my. I have a like a cycles. Market trends and stuff. All right, so we're getting into spring and early summer. Advertisers are usually looking for the catchy, feel good summer hits. So this is like bright, poppy production, stuff that's fun, chill, beachy vibes, lighthearted, fun tracks. Usually that stuff gets used a lot during these months, April to June. That's what I would say for that. Like, and then going into July through September, again, like summer anthems, and then also you kind of get holiday sprinkled in there as well, because they're kind of like, you know, the holiday movies are like in post production. Really start where we're at, April, May, June. So yeah, I'd say uh over the next couple months, you'll probably start to see more of those holiday briefs come up as that stuff moves into post production. So that stuff, Michael and I were actually just talking about that you can start to kind of prepare for. And then like currently what they want now is going to be that summer feel good stuff, energetic, upbeat, high energy music during this season. So is lo-fi still being used? Absolutely. We just got some lo-fi tracks signed. When was that? A couple months ago now. That I was able to collab with Bronx and Janelle on. So yeah, lo-fi is definitely still being used, especially with the micro sync kind of stuff. Michael Connor says, I'm going to Shades 26. Ticket just bought. Let's go. Shadesofsync.com is going to be amazing. We will get a group picture this year. We absolutely must. We must do it. So yeah. If KJ is going to be there, then I know I'm headed towards the right shores. Love it. Christmas, man. We got to add something to that Christmas catalog every year. Something. KJ says, bro, I was sick that I could not make it last year. I could barely stand hearing all of the good stuff everyone was saying about it. Bad. Excited you'll be there this year for sure. Yep. Yeah, go for it. I think you'll crush it. Boom, for sure. Yeah, it's one of those things. Like they you'll see it. You'll see it just kind of get sprinkled in there with like everything else. It's not a brief I'm seeing like every week, every other week or whatever, but definitely been seeing it more and more over the past like year or so. So it's definitely growing demand for that stuff because it's just so chill, man. Works well for just some music, some background music, and for brands and stuff like that, for like their little advertising campaigns on social media and stuff like that. They love it. Red Ray is going to Shades. It's gonna be a full house, man. I'm excited. I am excited. So, yeah. Lo-fi is on the rise in sync. It took a while, man, because usually when something fresh comes out, and I mean lo-fi's been around for a while, but when something's like trendy, sometimes it takes a little bit for the sync side to catch up, it seems like. And then eventually you kind of see it and it's like, oh yeah, like we need this. This is really cool. Yeah, it's been cool for a while now, guys. So yeah. I seen another article too randomly. It was a stat. It was saying that it was like 70% of syncs come from libraries in production music. And then 30%, directly from like music supervisors and things like that, which I think is interesting. It makes sense though, because I mean, shoot, libraries have a massive amount of music. So obviously, clients are going to them as a source for music, and they can just handle more projects like at once. So I think that's pretty reflective of even in how we pitch, right? Because I think a lot of us kind of pitch, more towards the publishers, the libraries, and then we sprinkle in some music supervisors here and there. And usually it's like a situation where it's just like at Shades of Sync, where you're able to actually meet the music supervisor, talk to them, see how they like to receive music, and that kind of get in the room with the virtual listening session like we do, that like we're going to do October 30th. for that virtual part of Shades of Sync. And it just kind of accelerates that relationship. So when you're in a situation like that, it makes sense, versus taking the time to like try and hunt down all of the music supervisors. I feel like, the majority of the effort is kind of towards the publishers and the agencies and the libraries and things like that. And then when it's going to be more like worth your time, then you kind of sprinkle in those music supervisors as well, which brings cool opportunities as well. So, yeah, I think it's smart to have both as part of your strategy in terms of pitching. Libraries will definitely get the ball rolling and get you familiar with the process and things like that. And then by the time you are talking to a music supervisor, you kind of already know what to expect, what they're going to want, what they're going to ask for, how they like to receive music. And I think that's like one of the biggest mistakes that producers who are just getting started make is, they hear find a music supervisor. So they find a music supervisor, but then they don't know how stuff works in terms of deliverables and, splits and split sheets and things like that, cue sheets and the information that has to go on a cue sheet. So, what tends to happen is like they reach out unprepared, and then music supervisor's like, oh, this is not good. And then it gets ignored. And then you're just like, oh, I tried that and it didn't work. So I think having a combination of both is definitely beneficial. Michael Connor says, I think we'll have to have a Hammond and keyboard on the stage this year for a jam. It'd be a super dope to beat you, bro. That would be crazy. Shades of Sync jam session. So yeah, 70% coming from publishers, the 30% coming directly from agents and music supervisors.